Hey guys, Planet Everything here, and today we're going to be unboxing and trying to set this iOptron SkyGuider PRO up with my computer and camera. So this, if you have not ever heard of it, this is something that you can use for astrophotography. I feel like I'm a ghost in this camera right now. This is something used for astrophotography to help you get more long exposures of planets and galaxies far, far away. So, in the end, you can really only take exposures of planets that are pretty much under 20 to 30 seconds. For the most part, I keep it under 15, and that restricts a lot of your capabilities. If you only have 15 seconds to leave your exposure open on your camera to take a picture of the stars before they've moved to the point where they're just streaks, then you can't really get that great of a picture. So what you have to do is buy something like this, the iOptron SkyGuider PRO, that counteracts that rotation of the Earth, that makes it look like the stars are getting blurred. So this little guy is not really all that little, mounts onto a tripod, and looks something like this. It's got a bit of it's got like a counterweight, your DSLR camera, obviously, and then the iOptron SkyGuider PRO, and I also got the iOptron SkyGuider Pro Polar, I think it's called, the iPolar SkyGuider Pro. So here is the iOptron in the case. Just take that out first. I'm going to set this on the ground so it doesn't fall. And then here is the mount for cameras. Then we have over here, this is the mounting bracket for your camera to go on the iOptron. Now, it's kind of interesting how they do this. So you could actually mount one camera over here and one camera over here so that you don't have to have a counterweight. To be honest, I don't really know how that works. I don't know if it would work, but apparently it does, actually. So I really just don't understand how that works, but, you know, not going to be doing that. I don't have two cameras nice enough for this. And then I obviously have, you know, a little Allen key and some little screws. And then over here we have the counterweight. So this guy's actually kind of heavy. This is gonna counter out the whatever weight you have on your camera. However much weight your camera is, you'll have this counterweight to counteract that. And this will make it basically so that the motor on the iOptron doesn't really have to do as much work. And so that it can actually work without like stuttering or messing up. So this is actually very important if you want to get accurate and really cool pictures. So let's go ahead and open up the iOptron to see what's inside. So inside this little case we get this tripod head, kind of not really a tripod head, tripod mounted thing. Without this plastic, and then so it's fairly light. It's not too heavy. You would mount this onto a tripod over here, and then you would mount this piece over here onto your camera, or in this case, you mount it onto this thing so that you can get those pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and mount a camera on here so I can just show you guys what this is and how it works, and then we'll move from there. So here's the iOptron SkyGuider PRO put onto a tripod. Now, once we wanted to, we could mount this bracket on there on the front, and then make everything together perfectly fine. I don't know where I just put the bracket. We put this bracket here right on like that, and then, you know, everything would work out. But with this case, I got the iPolar So inside of here, there's actually a small camera lens. Now that is an optimized camera for astrophotography, so it can actually see stars very well, and with that you can electronically orient this towards Polaris and then therefore track the sky pretty well, and then this camera will be able to run through your computer through an output on the back, and then back in with your computer telling it how much faster or slower it needs to move to be able. But what I'm here for is to teach you guys how to use this iPolar, because there aren't really any instructions for this except if you look online, but you know, everybody, let's be honest here, just wants to learn from a video, so I'm gonna try to do it. Anyway, let's go on to my iPolar software download. And we are going to connect the iOptron, which is just right over here, onto my computer using, you know, obviously you need a dongle because I have a USB Type-C computer, and that shouldn't be too hard. They even include all the cables you'll need. So, what it means by dark frame management, that's basically just saying it wants one frame that has nothing on it. It's completely dark. It's essentially you just put your lens cap on to the iPolar, take a picture, or click take dark frame, and then it'll load that as your dark frame basis so that it can put that as your background. The reason for that being it could just use that and then overlay the other ones and see the differences and maybe get a little better picture for you of the stars. So on your screen, you're going to see something a little bit like this. Now, you're going to want to click the connect button. I already did click this. I'm just going to run through this setup because it took me a bit of time to figure it out. But I think I can very quickly tell you what all you need to do to get this all set up to the most quick and functional way. So, if you're going to be shooting from the same spot every time, like if you're confident in that, then you don't really have to do this. Because you can manually put in your longitude, latitude, just by clicking the settings button. And then over here, you can click change and you can manually type this in. But for me, I'm going to be doing this in a lot of different places all around Jackson Hole, and so I also don't really know the barometric pressures of where I live ever. That's just not something I really understand. So what you got to do is click on read longitude latitude from mount. Now over here you're not going to see any of these options. It's going to be completely blank. It's from ASCOM telescope chooser. I will have all of these links in the description to what I'm using, so don't worry about it. It's not a huge struggle to get all this up, but before you do anything, you're going to want to click on this little logo over here and go over to ASCOM. Now, you're going to need to download whatever this is over here. For me, at the time that I'm recording this, this is ASCOM Platform 6.4. So, if you're familiar with any kind of music producing or anything like that, if you've ever plugged in something to your computer that's not really meant to run with it, you're going to know that you need some drivers. So that's essentially what you're doing here. You're just downloading a couple of drivers. So you're going to want to click this download button over here for the ASCOM platform, and then after doing that, you're not going to want to run it quite yet. You're going to want to download Windows, or I don't know if some people might already have this downloaded and installed, but it's just a good idea to install it now. Framework, you can download it, it's not a big deal. And then you can go ahead and run this platform. Now that you've got that, you can actually get to the part it's pretty easy. You go to the bottom and you click on telescope/mount if you have the iOptron iPolar, and then go down a little bit and you'll see this iOptron blah blah blah. No idea what these words are, but that is what you need. And then click on download. Now, once you've downloaded that and ran all of those through, it shouldn't have any errors, but if there are any, you can just look it up online and figure it out yourself. and then go over here into the settings, and then you should have all of these different options. Okay, anyway, you click on the iOptron.net ASCOM driver, click on this, and then you'll get your OK button. Click on this, yeah, there it goes, works perfectly fine, just kidding. And then it should enter in your barometric pressure and all that, and hopefully it'll be right. And then just follow over here, and it's going to do a little bit of trigonometry to figure out where its axis of rotation needs to be to get the best pictures. So yeah,
that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it for this video. As far as it goes with actually using this, I'll link a video down in the description from the Rocky Mountain School of Photography on really like the basics of the iOptron SkyGuider PRO, because this isn't really a video on the SkyGuider PRO, it's a lot more on the iPolar tracker, because that's the more complicated side of things. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and also please share with your friends, because you know, sharing is caring.